In this tutorial, we'll explore the concept of encryption using the string.byte function, but with a twist. Instead of using a fixed shift key for encryption, we'll randomize the shift key. This adds an extra layer of complexity and security to our encryption algorithm. Once we've encrypted our message using a random shift key, we'll then attempt to decrypt it. However, since we won't know the exact shift key used for encryption, we'll need to try all possible shift keys. This is where the nested loop comes into play. Local message hello world defines the message that we want to encrypt. Math random seed, OS time, sets the seed for the random number generator to the current time. This ensures that every time we run the program, the sequence of random numbers generated will be different. Local shift math random, 1 to 26. This line generates a random number between 1 and 26, inclusive. This random number will serve as the encryption key. By generating a random key within this range, we enhance the security of our encryption algorithm as the shift amount is unpredictable without knowledge of the key. The variable encrypted message it is where we will store the encrypted version of the original message. Next line starts a loop that iterates over each character. Local encode within the loop retrieves the ASCII value of the current character. Encode plus shift applies the shift key to the ASCII value of the current character, effectively shifting it forward in the alphabet. String.char encode appends the encrypted character after applying the shift to the encrypted message string. At last, the print function it is used to show the result of the encryption process. By using a random shift key, the encryption becomes less predictable, making it harder for potential attackers to decrypt the message without knowing the exact key. This adds complexity and enhances the security of the encryption, as the encrypted message will vary each time it's encrypted with a different random key. Once we have confirmed that the encryption block works properly by encrypting the message with a random shift key, we can proceed to simulate a brute force attack to decrypt the message. In a brute force attack, we systematically try every possible combination of shift keys until we find the correct one that decrypts the message into a meaningful plaintext. This involves using nested loops to iterate through all possible shift key values and decrypting the message with each key until we find the one that produces a meaningful result. This process allows us to test the robustness of the encryption algorithm and evaluate its resistance against brute force attacks. In the line for I equals 1, 26 do. The loop is iterating from 1 to 26. This range represents all possible values for the shift key in a Caesar cipher, where each value corresponds to shifting the letters of the alphabet by a certain number of positions. Since there are 26 letters in the English alphabet, we iterate from 1 to 26 to cover all possible shift values. Each iteration of the loop represents a brute force attempt with a different shift key to decrypt the message. In the inner loop, we iterate over each character of the encrypted message to decrypt it. Within each iteration of the loop, we retrieve the ASCII value of the character at the current index J in the encrypted message using the string.byte function. This value represents the encoded character. After retrieving the ASCII value of the encoded character, we subtract the shift key I from it. This operation reverses the encryption process. During encryption, we added the shift value to each character's ASCII value, and now, during decryption, we subtract it to revert to the original ASCII value of the character. By subtracting the shift key I from the ASCII value of each character, we effectively decrypt the message, one character at a time. This process continues for each character in the encrypted message until the entire message is decrypted. When we subtract the shift key from the ASCII value of a character during decryption, the resulting value may fall below the ASCII value of lowercase a, which is 97, especially if the shift key was relatively large. For example, if the shift key is 25 and we are decrypting the character lowercase a, its ASCII value would be 97, and after subtracting 25, it would become 72, which is not within the range of lowercase letters. To handle this situation, we add 26 to the resulting value to wrap it back into the range of lowercase ASCII values. Adding 26 essentially wraps around the lowercase alphabet, ensuring that the decrypted character remains valid and consistent. We use string.char, decode, to convert the ASCII value stored in decode back into its corresponding character. By appending each decrypted character to decrypted message in each iteration of the inner loop, we reconstruct the original message. This tutorial demonstrated the power of nested loops in the context of encrypting and decrypting messages. By combining nested loops with string manipulation, we were able to simulate both encryption and decryption processes. First, we encrypted a message by randomly shifting the ASCII values of its characters. Then, we simulated a brute force attack by using nested loops to try all possible shift keys and decrypt the message. This process showcased how nested loops can be used to systematically explore and manipulate data in complex scenarios. Overall, this tutorial provided a hands-on example of how nested loops can be leveraged to solve real-world problems, such as encryption and decryption, and highlighted their importance in programming for tasks that require iterative and systematic approaches.